Good afternoon, Trump's family. Welcome back to my channel. Have a good day, everyone, and God bless you. Alright, without further ado, let's get into the news. A black pastor in a Democrat district absolutely slamming Joe Biden to what seemed to be a very Democrat-leaning audience. Of course, we were talking about Brexit. The black exit of the Democrat Party, or the minority vote exit, is currently happening, and just the next day after recording and releasing that video, I happened to stumble upon a clip of CNN reporting on the exact same phenomenon. The Brexit phenomenon really seems to be much bigger, or at least growing over the last couple of years and over the last couple of election cycles. This is the phenomenon that we're going to continue to cover because, of course, it's a major factor in the collapse of the Democrat Party. Leftism continues to fail at a spectacular rate. And of course, we're going to continue to be along for the ride and cover it. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on here. CNN viewers are having straight up panic attacks while watching the network being hit with the news that they're slowly losing the black vote. We got some stuff to get into. So let's roll the tape. Alright, folks, so take a look at this from MRC Newsbusters. A huge drop. CNN reports on black voters running away from Democrats. Electoral conditions are getting so bad for the Democrat Party that on Monday morning, CNN New Day was forced to report on a new poll that shows African American voters are souring on the Democrat Party, while the party still wins a majority of black voters. The percentage that Republicans are projected to win is enough to make a difference in key states like Georgia, North Carolina, and Nevada. The network's senior data reporter Harry Enton was tasked with breaking the news to CNN's swindling audience on failed morning show A New Day. And I'm reading a Newsweek article, Key Moments from Donald Trump's Nevada Rally. And it's very interesting. He predicts indictment for himself. And prior to that, indictment for Hunter, the president's son, for obvious, like graft and bribery within the emails. Well, actually no tax issues in a firearms charge, which are going to be likely the plea deal or the indictments, to circumvent the actual issue that Republicans in Congress, when they take over Congress, the House, and almost certainly a Senate. The big issues are graft and bribery. 150 plus financial transactions deemed suspicious by banks, according to CBS News, and emails, the Daily Mail, and especially the Washington, the New York Post. Now the Washington New York Post broke the story on, and Twitter suspended the New York Post 2 years ago because the entire American political system and establishment props up and defends one political party, the Democratic Party, and tries to silence and suppress any information detrimental to their political side. But anyway, and they're the ones who claim Trump as the authoritarian. But anyway, he predicted that he would get indicted as a pretext, or no, that Hunter would get indicted as a pretext to the DOJ and Merrick Garland at him. Sahir. During the speech, he bragged about the size of the crowd and suggested the Department of Justice may prosecute President Joe Biden's son Hunter as a pretext to prosecuting him. And we have the Durham probe special counsel in 2 days, ladies and gentlemen. Tuesday, he'll get a conviction, 1 conviction out of 5 at least. They'll get at least 1. Okay. If he doesn't, it's like the man would be completely inept. But again, John Durham already put in prison a bureau official. Okay. So it's not like he's new to all of this, and he got a plea deal. So he got 1 conviction, when people say, oh, nothing's ever going to happen. And it's like, well, Rome wasn't built in a day. You have Trump going after a very corrupt political establishment, media, Democratic Party, and Republican like Mitch McConnell, and Paul Ryan, and Kinzinger, and Cheney, who voted over 90% plus, alongside Trump. But anyway, hit subscribe to this channel. Let's talk about this Newsweek article 1 read, where he talks about, he kind of hints that, hey, you know what, Hunter is going to be indicted, just so Democrats in the Justice Department can say, look, well, we went after Hunter, we're gonna go after you too. We're completely fair and honest. Here's the problem with that, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Hunter did commit crimes. Trump didn't. There's a difference. Hillary did. Trump didn't. Okay. There's a difference between Democrats and Trump. Hillary had, siphoned classified data onto servers outside of the United States government. It's an obvious crime. Clinton did break the law. Okay, and I want to Hillary Trump 2024. I think that's what's gonna take place. I'd vote for Trump a million times over, but I think that's what's gonna take place, and for a lot of reasons, I want that. You can't siphon classified data onto servers, it is a crime. You wouldn't even be able to get a job at Microsoft or McDonald's or anywhere with a private server that you set up siphoning out the corporation's data. Okay? You couldn't be, we wouldn't be able to say, oh, it's yoga. You know what? That's a cybersecurity nightmare. They made a complete mess. Mockery of classified data. Okay. And then you can hear President Obama saying, well, there's classified and classified, okay? So they don't care about classified information. They care about it when it's anyone other than a Democrat mishandling the information. Trump is the president with the power to declassify anything with the authority and he was, as president, capable of seeing anything. He had the highest security clearance. And they already know how he obtained the documents. Nobody knows how Clinton was able to transfer from a cybersecurity perspective classified data onto those secret servers. Everyone knows how Trump obtained the documents, whether the classified top secret or whatever. He was president. He's already protected. They have not indicted Trump because he did not commit a crime. Now, they could indict him knowing they lose in court in the future. But he did not commit a crime because he has precedent. Bill Clinton had a sock drawer full of classified data. I mean, these people are like hilarious. You classify if servers sock drawers people like President Obama's 30 million pages of unclassified documents that were supposed to have already been digitized and on the internet and on a virtual library. National Archives apparently doesn't care about that. But anyhow, do you get 30 million unclassified documents? That's nonsense. Okay, but the Democrats love to hide within the bureaucratic system and just say things. They believe anything. They'll believe anything as long as an authority. A person in authority tells them something. So Trump didn't commit a crime. They already could have indicted him. He removed the top secret data. He had it at Mar-a-Lago. They don't need to investigate. They are investigating for public relations purposes, specifically to interfere and influence in the midterms. They did that with the Mueller probe in 2018. Why do you think they went into Mar-a-Lago? They already knew he had those boxes. It was an informant who an informant. There's an informant now on trial for lying. The Bureau doesn't even need an actual reason. They just need any pretext and all. After about the Trump and Democrats, like you're talking about low information voters, like they'll believe anything, like you're talking about the most gullible people on the planet, just because they despise Trump, they'll believe anything. Okay? He's Kremlin operative. Really? Oh my God. And then that there's egg on their face, but they don't care. They just wipe it off. They don't know what hypocrisy is. So he removed the data. He had it outside of the US government. He's a former president. They can't indict him. And that's the reality situation, but they're investigating because one day. You may be for public relations purposes. With Hunter with Clinton, they didn't indict because JC said, well, there were she could break laws. No reasonable prosecutor would indict. So you have the director of the Bureau going back for a Democrat. Okay. Some people are above the law. They're called the Hillary and Hunter. So Hunter. If he gets indicted, it should be for the actual crimes of graft and bribery. If he gets indicted, it'll be public relations likely. Or if he gets a plea deal, likely to circumvent the eventual investigations in the House, because Democrats are already indicted. And what's the problems? No, you only indicted him on the least of all the criminal activity. That's obvious. It's obvious you have Caligula, running rampant, and Joe completely clueless, and Democrats siphoning data onto servers. I mean, it's a complete madhouse to the left of center, but see again, media doesn't care. They'll just justify anything because they despise Trump. We had record low poverty. If you're a socialist who despises Trump, he's authoritarian. We had a record low poverty and Trump doesn't care what you say. He won't censor you. He doesn't want a ministry of truth. It's Democrats who have poverty increasing to over 15%. Now, we had a 10.5% poverty rate, the lowest on record under Trump in the economy. Oil prices are going up. WTI and brands are approaching $100 in a recession. Where shipping and trade has plummeted. Okay. We're in a recession, where oil will go up also because OPEC has cut production by 2 million barrels. And this is alongside Joe pumping and releasing 180 to 200 million barrels of strategic petroleum reserves just to make up for his failed policies. So you had terrible policies, in terms of energy. And so now you have oil still going up? You have the market is going to crash even more. You have a geopolitical nightmare that nobody wants to do anything about. Except ratchet up. I mean, Trump is 100%. Right? You need to negotiate or else you face nuclear Armageddon. Again, I don't even think a lot of Democrats would care. They'll take nuclear Armageddon, as long as Trump is in an office. That's like not only a cold, it's like this religion. It's like this doomsday religious cult, called the Democratic Party. They'll take nuclear annihilation, as long as we don't have Trump. I mean, that's what you're dealing with. But anyway, with Hunter and Hillary, they did commit crimes, so that they investigated those people, but they just couldn't find anything. And honestly, when there's tax issues with Hunter, it's like, well, no, actually, you're not inviting him on the 150 suspicious financial transactions with hundreds of millions of dollars worth of income or tens of millions of income and hundreds of millions to billions of commerce that he was a part of, that involved potential graft or bribery schemes that are actually within the emails that the New York Post published. Then, of course, Twitter suspended. The only time Twitter suspends anyways, because there's no rebuttal to what the experts said to what the New York Post says. It's they suspend and censor and silence because they don't want to issue a rebuttal. There is no rebuttal. When they call something information that misinformed, that means another viewpoint that contradicts or undermines their own viewpoint using logic facts data. No, it's not that like there were people really being misinformed. What they've redefined as a person being misinformed, as a person that distrusts or is suspicious of the Democratic Party, which everyone with a functioning brain cells should be. Again, I'm not enamored with the Republican Party. I like Trump, Donald and DeSantis. And Tulsi Gabbard. I like human beings. I don't like people who've given their shows, devoted their souls to a political party. Or to this groupthink, this stupid groupthink. But anyway, they could very well indict Hunter, and then say, well, Trump is next. It's only fair. But that wouldn't work out. Because you'd still have impeachment of Joe. And everybody on the planet would know. They're just going after Trump. And everybody understands what it's like to be picked on. Okay. Trump is not the bully. They're trying to bully him. He's fighting back very effectively, and they just can't stand it. Democrats want to either silence or crush you or intimidate you. That's how they roll. That's how the Bush Republicans did things. The problem is you can't do any of those things to Trump. And that's why they call him an authoritarian and all this stuff. That's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. If you're up for it, I'm gonna get back to work. Thanks for watching.